What's up, folks? Welcome to Nerd Report. It is Tuesday. We've been reporting on this case with the track and field tragedy over there in Frisco, Texas. Yeah, man, it's heating up. I don't know if this thing is just starting off as far as like the momentum of the news is concerned or how people are going to be reacting to it, but it's snowballing. People are calling it racial. Some people are not. There's a lot of false information out there. That's why I hesitate to jump to any conclusions and stuff. And I'm trying to be as fair as I can, but I just want to also include that everything we say here is an opinion. We're just going by what's reported and stuff. So do your own research. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know exactly what's going on. People are asking, where the hell is there video available of this incident? Where's the video? Kids, high school people, we think, of course, I haven't been in high school in such a long time. I hated high school actually, but people think, especially teenagers are always recording stuff. So is there video of this available? Let me know in the comments. Do you think there's video going to be coming out of this? Because now some people are reporting that Austin actually touched them. I don't know if that's accurate and Karmelo retaliated with the knife. I don't know, man. There's got to be video out there. But one thing, we're going to get into this press conference right now. And this group here is talking about how the family is being harassed. The Anthony family is being harassed and stuff, and how it's becoming racial and everything. And we don't need to add the racial component into it, folks. This is already messed up. I think high school kids take sports way too serious. It probably like this whole thing was just testosterone and just dumb, man. It was just a dumb, tragic incident that happened. And we don't need to add fake news to it. I know the internet does that, especially with true crime stuff. But again, let me know if you got notified in the comments right now. Let me know if you got notified in the comments, and let me know what country, city, or state you are watching from. And also, let me know if you could hear this press conference as I roll it. Is the audio okay? Let me know.
Give me a thumbs up when it's...
Yeah, give me a thumbs up. No, Shelly, what's up, Tammy?
Thank you. Alrighty, we're good. Alrighty, so real quick, I want to start off by saying,
is the audio okay, folks? Obviously, this doesn't seem like a police report, but it's still an important press conference.
That my comments are represented today by the Next Generation Action Network, that have been working with the Anthony family from the advocacy standpoint. I'm not the Anthony family attorney. Of course, the Next Generation Action Network is no stranger to this line of work. And we have been representing families for the last 10 years from an advocacy standpoint to get to the bottom of this situation. The Next Generation Action Network, since the past week, have gotten thousands of calls regarding this situation, and making sure that our organization was involved in this situation because of the growing tension of racism and bigotry involving with the case.
And look, a lot of people are going to have the tendency to call BS on this. I'm not. I do think there are some people, when you get, the internet is full of dumbass trolls, and I'm sure there's some racism involved with like people doxing and stuff like that. I'm 100% sure that's happening. I don't know if it's the majority of people. I don't think so, but I'm not going to sit here and say this guy. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh no, this is BS. It's not. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. You have the right to disagree with me and stuff. It's just part of it. I get racial slurs. I just don't really even talk about it. It is what it is. But don't make, Don't mistake, man. White people get racial slurred too, man. You know, everyone does. Everyone gets trolled on the internet. That's what the internet is, especially when it comes to true crime. Both families, yeah.
I want to start off by saying that I appreciate the deputy chief, John Stretch, from being able to come here to meet with us, as well as the assistant police chief, Darren Stevens. These are two individuals who are currently over the investigation that is currently going on in Frisco ISD. Of course, let's start off in the proper way. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network, the largest human and civil rights organization in North Texas. Today, we had a meeting with the leadership of the Frisco Police Department to discuss.
And also, let's keep it civil in the comments. Have you seen like dumb racist comments on this situation? Let me know in the comments. Have you seen people, because there is fake news out there, but have you seen the fake news and the like illogical racial slurs? Remember, the dad's actually asking not to make it racial. I think the people should respect that. I mean, he's the one that lost someone. Hello. So
the matter of urgency in escalating racial threats and bigotry and online hate directed at the Anthony family. Let me be clear. The Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence, and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here just for justice. This justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how Black people can speak up against oppression.
White America, or
we
just
cannot
America?
Allow white America to decide. We cannot allow white America. We cannot allow white America.
Does he say white America or all America? I mean, I don't think anybody should decide what anyone says, but I'm just curious.
And impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. Huh? We cannot allow white America to decide when and how Black people can speak up against oppression. We do not pull the race card. We live it. Yes, this case is a tragedy. Anytime a child is lost, we mourn as a community.
And look, I gotta say, man, I'm being honest with you as a podcaster here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I have friends that I've hung out with that are part of the Black community. They go into I walked with them into a store. They get followed everywhere. They're the last person to steal. They're the most respectful person I know, and they still get treated like thugs sometimes, and that's not fair. And it's easy for us to like that. I'm lucky I don't get treated like that, or at least I don't see it. You know, but until you're in somebody's shoes, then you start to see things, maybe even see things when they're not there. Let's just look at it that way. Now, that being said, I don't know if there's really any, how would I say, justification to what happened here. I mean, taking out a knife, I don't know, man. That's still it needs to be explained. All right. That needs to be explained. Let's be fair. All right. Let's get a real conversation out there, right?
Heart goes out to the family of Austin Metcalf. But we do not erase the right of the Anthony family to be protected and heard and treated with dignity. That's why today we spoke with the Frisco Police Department leadership to demand answers. We need to know what steps are being taken to protect the Anthony family, the strategies of the threats that's being spreaded, and how Frisco police is ensuring that Karmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right, fair and public trial, is fully respected. Let's make it clear that absolutely.
I think I don't see how this crime has anything to do with black oppression. I'm confused. Well, I mean, look, according to this press conference, the spokesperson here, I don't know who he is, but they're sending racial hate stuff to the family, to the Anthony family. Do I believe he's lying? No, I don't. I really think out of millions of people who are watching this case, there's morons out there. Do I think the overwhelming majority of people are okay with this? No. I think most people are not looking at it as racist. I don't. But I think there's a select few that are trolling. Remember, the internet has 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, morons, idiots. The only reason, and one of the main reasons I'm saying this is because I've been here on the internet, man. I've seen some crazy stuff made up, threats, like crazy stuff. We're talking about mentally ill people that would do this,
We have the full permission and trust of the Anthony family and authorized for the Next Generation Action Network to speak today. Today in this meeting, we talked about and was able to give them graphic images of what this family has had to deal with for the last couple of days.
Because it has received.
It is sad. These graphic images not only display children with knives, black children with knives stuck in their head.
Okay, he's talking about what the family's receiving. Now, could they trace these people? Could they send it to the authorities? They should.
The Anthony family's address. We saw when this case first started that people were putting online that when Section 8 was accepted into the Frisco neighborhood, that became the lead of the downfall of Frisco. We have saw so many different hateful images, just hateful things. And the Next Generation Action Network wants to reiterate that Karmelo Anthony has a right to a fair trial, unbiased, and removed of racial hate and bigotry.
Now, I do agree with what not all. CJK, there are falsehoods against Austin. There's fake news out there. I think it's going both ways. I do think it's going both ways 100%. 1000%. But like I said, this is a effed up situation. It sucks that, people have to add lies to it. Folks, do me a favor. YouTube is actually oppressing this video. Hit the like. Really, we have almost 100,000 subscribers. This topic is massive. People want to know about it. And they're not sharing this video with anyone. Okay? There's no way there should be 30 people here. This is YouTube bullshit. All right? That's why we are on Rumble as well. So join Nerd Report on Rumble. And I'm not worried about a platform that doesn't want to share this community, your community. I'm giving you all a voice. I'm talking to you guys, making a conversation. So hit the like, share this video, and there you go. Thank you. And keep the conversation going.
I want to make it very clear. And I say this from my heart and my own personal reference. If someone wants to say race is not in this situation and shouldn't be, well, I asked all of those people to join me in calling it out. But don't look at black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play the race card, we live it. We live a reality. We also feel that the bond that Karmelo Anthony is on is too high. We do. Because guess what? We've been here when Aaron Dean was arrested. We was here when Amber Geiger was arrested. $200,000. The system, it has a problem in it. Now, what I want to be able to do is ensure, and what we was able to hear today from the Frisco Police Department is reensuring that the Frisco Police Department is doing everything that it can to address the racism and the bigotry. We have saw the police chief, a statement being sent out by the police chief that was false. We have saw a false autopsy report that was false.
Both sides, though.
We have to caution the community to say, hey, we cannot trust everything that is online. The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case.
Yeah, no, online, man. People make it, like I said, do your own research, folks. Even if you hear something here, this is just opinion. Go and do your own research. Yeah, the internet's full of, like I said, the other day I reported on this and some lady went nuts on me, putting words in my mouth and how could you do this, or how could you do this, in the comments. And I'm different. I told her to shove it up her butt. Her comments, I'm not really gonna bend down. I go, if you're gonna hear things that I didn't say and act like I said get out of the community. I don't really care for that. I'm not gonna say, well, I didn't say that, I apologize. No, I'm not that. I'm not that type of dude. I'm too old for that. I'm past that. If I say something and you misinterpret it or hear what you want to hear and try to like slander me or try to make me look bad, I'm gonna tell them to sit on your finger and rotate twice. And get out of here. I don't really care. But yeah, there's a lot of people making up shit on the internet. Got to be careful with that.
And it has to stop. It has to stop, y'all. As we know it right now, Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony did not know each other.
People are making up stories that they knew each other.
They did not know each other. Let's stop it. They were not at a party together. Let's stop
I haven't heard
the lies
then again,
regarding this situation. We also know that both Austin Metcalf, the twin brothers, were on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We also know that Karmelo Anthony was on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We know they both arrived, all of them arrived to this facility via the transportation of Frisco ISD. The lies has to stop, y'all. As far as the legal strategy, I'm not talking about that today because that's not my place. I'm not the lawyer. I think you guys have all had a statement in regards that the lawyers have asked for a bond reduction and they will release that in the way. We are solely here because where racism and bigotry and hate arises, the Next Generation Action Network will be there and will respond to that hate.
So this is like
we will not allow our communities to go under attack. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation. And it's really because people don't want to really have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country. And the current climate that we live in, where racism and bigotry is at the forefront, we don't really want to have these conversations. And social media has been a stomping ground for people to be able to launch any disparity that they want to. And so, our heart goes out to all who are involved. The Next Generation Action Network continues to restate that we are here to support this situation based on what we have seen. We want to continue to express Mr. Karmelo Anthony's grounds of where he has displayed self-defense. I think that in the next coming days, as you see the things going out in the courtroom, it will be displayed. But today's meeting was solely about the threats that have been going towards their home and ensuring that there is.
They do that all the time, man. They dox people and stuff. That's just an the internet does the people that are popular. But yeah, so they put the person they dox in danger. But you got to be careful. You dox somebody, man, you're gonna go to jail for a very long time.
It's a fair and impartial investigation going on. And I want the public to know that our organization, along with attorneys, are doing everything they can to make sure that race is not a factor in this case, ensuring and supporting like we've always done. And so I really appreciate the police chief coming to meet with us today to answer all of those questions that we have had. And so at this time, I'll just open it up for questions.
All right, here comes the question.
What exactly did you ask police to do, and what exactly did they tell you they would do? And is it enough?
Just so you know, in LA, they could dox you and 175 times a day, and the cops have no record of you being falsely doxed. When they say, hey, there's this person over here in front of whatever, and they're doing something wrong, the cops will show up, handcuff you, and then they'll go, oh, sorry, it was a false call. And then 2 seconds later, they'll call again, and there'll be another set of officers that have no idea that there was a false call 2 seconds ago. They'll do that 375 times. They have no communication stuff, and they're actually putting your life in danger every time someone gets doxed. It's ridiculous because they come out with guns blazing.
Okay. Break that down. Just give me that again.
What exactly did you ask Frisco Police in your meeting today to do about these allegations of racism leveled against this family? What did you ask police to do about it? What did they say?
There is a story, like B. Young said, that there was someone did touch the other guy. Like I did read that somewhere. But again, I want to know if there's a video out there. And yeah, see, there are stories of witnesses saying there was a push. I don't know. I'm not gonna go on here and say there was stuff happening because I wasn't there and it hasn't been reported. Yeah, I mean, but again, there are people that come to the channel. They're very passionate. They read something, and there's no proof of it, and they want me to report it like it's real. And I'm not going to do that, but you could do that. I'm not talking to anyone specifically here, but you could do that. You have a YouTube. I don't recommend you accuse people of stuff that's not proven, but if you're so brave, go and do it. Don't ask me to do that, especially when we're talking about stuff that like the news changes minute by minute.
They were going to do about it, and is it enough?
What I've asked them to do is put an additional presence out there with this family around their home. They have ensured that they have had levels of communication, but for the family, it has been hard for them to know and trust everything because of all of the disinformation. And it made it hard for a lot of people to even trust law enforcement in this situation because of what was going on. It was one moment that we thought that the police chief made a statement regarding the case. Then we find out that's a lie, right? The family saw an autopsy report. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, because of my experience and growing up in the funeral home industry, I know that it's impossible to have an autopsy report, you know what I mean, something like that, to be released in the matter of 2 days, right? So we was able to dispel that really quick, right? You know what I mean? And we knew that that was never going to be the avenue that the Collin County Medical Examiner would release that information, right? And so it made it very hard. So what we've asked them to do is increase their presence. We've asked them for a direct contact for the family to be able to send them the information that is when they're getting it, you know, that they have a point of contact to be able to do this. You know, their home address has been shared, you know what I mean? The hate, you know, there's a lot of stuff that people are saying in regarding their son that are false. You know what I mean? You would think
It's kind of both ways though.
based on what is online, you would think that Karmelo Anthony is a person who is like, you know what I mean, a hooligan or somebody that doesn't have a home or structure or foundation or all of these different types of things. There's been a whole bunch of lies, like Karmelo Anthony was put out of his home days before.
And people believe, yeah, people do make up stuff, man. I cannot. This guy's probably right, man. I know he's on Karmelo's side, but yeah, man, people make up stuff on YouTube, man.
For just stupidity, they are.
Yeah, they're stupid. And let me tell you right now that those channels that make up stories have 100 times more views in this video because I'm spitting out facts. People want to hear bullshit. People are attracted to sensationalism. They want more. They want theories. They want, you know, false accusations. They want to hear all this stuff, you know?
All false and lies. And so, you know what I mean? It's just some of those things that the family knows and things that were expressed. Like the family know they got to the bus to do that because Karmelo Anthony's car was at his school. You know what I mean? So it's these type of lies that is being expressed on social media. That's
now. I think they try to silence some creators. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Creator got a cease and desist or is getting sued. Stay tuned for that.
Making it hard for a lot of the family to even trust. So that's the reason why we had this meeting to be able to ask, you know, answer any questions.
And just real quick though, but so what did police say that they were actually going to do? Are they going to increase
yes.
protection?
Yes. They accepted that. They did. And
you said in the initial letter to the city that you raised serious questions about their thoroughness and fairness of the investigation, saying that you guys have spoken to coaches and other people that witnessed it and that they didn't.
Yeah, there's witnesses, but where the hell are no video?
And follow up with them. Were you able to have that conversation with
Is video footage coming? What do you guys think?
the chief and resolve that?
I was able to have that question, and we were able to give those individual names up because the Next Generation Action Network do not want to interfere in the investigation. We're not going to release who they are, but we were able to have that conversation today. You know what I mean? That's what prompted them to even be able to come in. And also, we not only talked about people who were speaking out like that had information regarding the case. We also reported people in official capacities, like people who are teachers, government officials that have used their own personal social media to placate in the hate and the false narratives that are coming out against Karmelo Anthony.
Now, this is showing that this person right here has never dealt with the internet, man. That's the way it is. With true crime, they make up so much bull crap out there. Like, it's like ridiculous. There's people here that are like as dumb as a rock, heard some fake story by another person that's like the IQ of a peanut, and they run with it and they'll criticize creators like me for not going and reporting. You don't know anything about this case because you didn't mention this. I know because that other thing's bull crap. Like there's a lot. So this guy is reacting to that right now. We're seeing it. People here watching probably are used to it. You know, people lie on the internet, man. It's crazy.
And we were able to report that information to them regarding that.
Do you stand by that though, that did they acknowledge that some witnesses have not been contacted by police, or were you in?
To be exact, Frisco Police Department was able to tell me that they have interviewed over 75 people.
Damn.
And it's ongoing. But they did acknowledge that there are people who have not been interviewed in regards to this case. They are aware of that. That wasn't, you know what I mean, like based on the information that we were getting, it was very hard for us to be able to, you know, see what this investigation was going and how it was being together, because we didn't know what to trust. But we had to make sure that we get involved in this situation early so that we can ensure that this investigation is fair and unbiased.
Do you feel better after having this?
Julissa says, people with good families commit terrible crimes. Why are they trying to keep Karmelo seem like he's innocent? He's admitted to stabbing. Now, I don't know if they're saying he's innocent. I think they're complaining about the family getting attacked and doxxed. I mean, I could be wrong. This guy's escalating the race angle. Exactly. Shelly says this kid seems to believe it was self-defense. I don't see it. Again, we don't have all the details. But what if he did grab him and pushed him and stuff, and then he went to his you know, he used a knife, and that's like too much though, right? Doesn't justify it.
Meeting that it will be a thorough and fair investigation.
I think the jury is still out. I think that, you know, they were able to come to me and be very sincere about it. I feel comfortable right now, but we have to see, right? They did answer my questions. And so that's, you know, for now, I can only see what they do from here on out in protecting this family.
Exactly. What happened to fighting with your fist? That's the way to go. But Julissa, listen, we've spoken. We're around the same time period, you know, same, you know, high school years. A lot of these guys and girls, man, they took the sports way too, at least for me, I wasn't a jock dude. Like the jocks were like a-hoes, in my opinion. Like that whole scene, the cliques in high school and all that, you know, maybe, you know, Anthony went to go and tease the other side and hang out with the opposite team to get clout. And then the other guy's like, get out of here, you know, to act tough. And then they just, you know, I think we should teach people or let people know that it's okay to just walk away. It doesn't make you a wuss to just walk away from a disagreement. You know, it's okay to walk away.
In making sure that this investigation is going right and pushing forward.
Are you planning to have a meeting with Anthony's family after this meeting?
Yes, I will have a discussion with them, with their family attorney too as well.
I assume you're going to be releasing some of these images or proof, or I don't know if that family's house has been targeted.
Yeah.
Are you going to be releasing anything?
They're gonna be releasing receipts. Ladies asking for receipts for all the threats.
To support what you guys are saying.
Yeah, I can release you social media posts that have been pushed out of their home. Yes.
Okay, with the 75 people they say they interviewed, did they say anything about video was?
Yes, they have collected video.
There's video.
Video of the incident.
Guys, there's videos of the incident. Holy shit. Wow. Well, according to this guy, there's video.
Release you social media posts that have been pushed out of their home. Yes.
Okay, with the 75.
Joseph says exactly, walk away, or if you feel danger, go speak to an adult. And look, walking away, if you really hate someone, walking away is the worst thing you could do to them. I'll tell you why. My grandpa taught me this. When somebody bumps you or does something wrong, you know you could take them out. You know, I mean, physically, you know, with a fist, you could punch them, right? Although you shouldn't. You know you could do it. But what you do, since you have stuff, since you know you have stuff to lose, and that idiot doesn't, you walk away, because one day they're going to find the person that's really going to knock the hell out of the bully. Okay? You let them keep going the way they do, and one day they're going to run into the wall. Right? Walking away is the best thing to do.
People they say they interviewed, did they say
Heather?
anything about video was
Yes,
recorded?
they have collected video.
So it is video of the incident?
Yes, they have collected video.
Oh.
There is video of the
There's video of the incident. This guy's kind of vague with it. Is they've collected video. Would they give him that info?
actual stabbing.
There's video, there are several different video that they verified.
What does that
Did they
mean?
obtain, did the Anthony family obtain their attorneys through NextGen, or did they obtain them independently? Like,
The initial attorneys were obtained through our advocacy. Yes, correct. Of course, you know that one of the attorneys, Kim T. Cole,
Exactly,
is the general
Beyond.
counsel.
It's like I was watching Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai. You say best block is not being there. I was watching Cobra Kai, and Daniel LaRusso told Johnny Lawrence, who's Cobra Kai, he goes, Mr. Miyagi taught me the best self-defense move ever. And he goes, what is it? He goes, don't be there technique. No, be there. What does that mean? When someone starts a fight with you, you leave. You're not there. Don't be there. No, be there technique.
Of our organization, and I believe they are adding more people to. When we got the case, it's about ensuring that the families have representation. We know that over the weekend, the courts, which is normal protocol, appointed an attorney. That is done by, I want people to know that's done by the courts.
I guess the courts appointed an attorney, but Anthony may be raising money for an attorney. It's almost like $250,000. We'll check that right now.
It's not done by the family. The gentleman that, and there's nothing he did wrong, the gentleman that presented himself as the attorney, at that time when he made those statements, he were the attorney of record. Until Monday morning, when the new attorneys was able to notify the courts that they were the attorneys of record hired and retained by Mr. Karmelo Anthony. That's when they go. And I know there was a lot of confusion as to who did the family hire and all those different types of things. And so for now, y'all, that's an ongoing process.
So what do we know that has been debunked as far as like the cell phone getting broke? Do we know that? Do we know about?
Look, all I'm gonna see is their cell phone getting broke. Look, this is all I'm gonna. I heard that's a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Here's the deal: if it is like one guy bullied the other, and Karmelo was a person getting attacked, and then he pulled out the knife. I don't think it's gonna stop him from doing time. I don't know. Okay, if that's the situation, again, I wasn't there. We don't know, but it will reduce the sentence, maybe.
That's an ongoing process.
So what do we know that has been debunked as far as like the cell phone?
Okay, debunk stuff. Cell phone broken.
Getting broke. Do we know that? Do we know about?
I didn't ask about pretty much cell phone. What I can tell you is on the surface of being.
Why would they tell this guy though? Isn't he like he's not the attorney? Could someone explain to me, would they give this guy information on the case? He's not representing the family legally. Why would he be have more access to information than the press? I'm just asking.
Debunked is the fact that they did not know each other. There wasn't no, and I want to say this because there is a particular blogger that's getting a lot of views.
Oh, who? There's a vlogger getting a lot of views saying that they knew each other. Could it be the guy I have a video of? I'm going to show you something right now.
Particular blogger that's getting a lot of views. And it's very detrimental, the audience that they're getting, right? And that's the only reason why I justify in saying this.
There's a vlogger getting a lot of views. I told you, lying, man. It's the audience's fault too. We got to take responsibility. Stop giving the bullshit creators the clicks and the views. But you know, we can complain about them all you want. But here I am with 40 people giving you the facts to the best I can, and then bullshitters are with 4 million people, 40 million people bullshitting you, right? Hurting the case.
No, and I want to say this because there is a particular blogger that's getting a lot of views. And it's very detrimental, the audience that they're getting, right? And that's the only reason why I justify in saying this on this press conference, because of the type of information that Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony had a fight the day before or a week before, or at this point, there's nobody.
And they're both on the roster.
There's nothing at this time that support that they knew each other. Okay, you know what I mean? They are both athletes in the same school district. Of course, they probably know of each other, but they do not know each other, right? And so that's a lie. Like the pictures and I believe there was a picture that went on social media saying that this is Austin Metcalf and Karmelo, and that is a lie. So that's a false narrative. Anything else?
What do you say to people that view these social media posts before they hit share or send it to all their friends and such?
I ask that people, if you're really trying to help, I ask that y'all continue to support this family. I know that the community has overwhelmingly support this family in the tragedy that has happened in this situation. But I ask that people, when they're sharing information, please verify the source of the information that you are sharing.
Judy B says, why would he sit down in the wrong place to begin with? He obviously saw none of his teammates were there. Clout, if maybe, I don't know. I could see that. Like, hey, man, you know, he trolled the other team. I mean, that's the way high schoolers are, man. I mean, and it just may have turned the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know what his mindset was. But I can see that happening. The OJ stuff? Yeah. That's the only reason I could see that he went over there to like, imagine like you go to the other team's area and chill there, and then his teammates back at his school were probably like, that's funny. You know what I mean?
Because if you're trying to help Karmelo, and sharing false narratives is not helping. This situation is too delicate to be spreading false information. There are a lot of different things, people taking screenshots, and it's looking in the day and age that we have with artificial intelligence. Someone can take this sheet of paper and recreate it with our letterhead, with anybody's statement, and put it out. Yep. And that's very detrimental. So we've asked continuously, if you are posting something on social media, please verify your statement. I just want to say this, if there's no other questions, is there any other questions? No questions? Yes. Yes.
And these are more clarifying questions. You mentioned that the attorneys that have been retained were through the Advocacy organization. Can you talk a little bit more about what your relationship has been thus far with the Anthony family? And then the second question, can you speak to kind of your stance on the investigation at this point. I think the letter that was initially sent suggested that the investigation, as you saw it, was insufficient. I'm wondering if you still maintain that. You talked a little bit about that earlier, but just want to make sure I understand what the stance is.
So, like many people know, the Next Generation Action Network was founded in 2014. And after a situation happened like this and our organization gets involved with the case, there is protocol to be able to get them a proper representation, because our organization is an advocacy, a human and civil rights organization. So we cannot give a family legal.
Heather, thank you so much for that PayPal. Thank you. Hearts for Heather. Thanks for supporting Nerd Report. Folks, if you like what we do, don't forget you could support the channel via Super Chat, Cash App, PayPal, whatever you like, or just simply hit the like button and stuff and support Nerd Report. Yes. You can become a member, whatever you like. Thank you. Hearts for Heather.
Advice, right? So there are appropriate protocols and people who are brought in to be able to do that. And of course, that's the family's decision to, go with that or whatever. And we just give them the options that they need to be able to make sure that their rights are protected, right? Like I said with her question, the jury is still out in regards to the investigation. Now, they did give me a lot of clarity about some of the falsehoods that I didn't know wasn't true until I asked them, because there were so many different letters and so many different stuff that was going out on social media. I needed to hear them say the letter that was supposed to be put out by the police chief was false, right? And so, because I couldn't trust whether that was true because of how much heightened I do share their concern that this case is like none other. I just feel like we're at that beacon of where we are in social media and artificial intelligence, where people can just do anything and just run rapid. I have saw platforms be used in this case that I never even knew existed, right? And so with that being said,
This is a press conference.
That's pretty much it in regards to the investigation. I hope that I can see some in the coming days. I also told them, hey, if bullying, racism, and bigotry exist in this investigation, it's the responsibility of the police department to address this in their community. And so hopefully in the next coming days, we will see this. I know they have a job to do an investigation, and I don't want to impede in anything or speak in the legal matter for the Anthony family or in the legal matter of anybody in this situation, right? Our sole job today is from an advocacy standpoint in making sure that we give voice to the community. I'll end with this. And yes.
Why did this young man have a gun? Why did this young man have a knife on his finger?
Why did he have a knife?
I cannot speak to that. I cannot speak to that in regards to that. I can't speak to that, because I believe that, first of all, even if I had the answer to that or whatever, I wouldn't say it, because that's a part of his defense. And I think there's going to be an appropriate time where they're going to speak to what was going on. What I can do.
Folks, thank you so much for supporting the channel. We got Judy. Thank you so much, Judy, for supporting the channel. Hearts for you. And also Shelly. Shelly's getting excited for Mad Monster. Shelly, me as well. We got some more actors coming there for Mad Monster reunion gathering. There's a lot of celebrities. We're going to talk about that in a future video. Shelly, hearts for you. And Judy, hearts for you as well, with Heather, whatever, for supporting today's video. We're trying to get more videos out there, more lives for you, for this community. Thank you so much, folks.
Is reiterate that Karmelo Anthony, from the beginning, has continued to display his self-defense claim. And I believe that in America, I always tell this, and I'm just going to speak truth to power in this situation. It is crazy that America tells us to accept the self-defense claim of George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, and so many other people. But when the shoe is on the other foot, that claim is absurd of George Zimmerman. And I believe what I can do is reiterate that Karmelo Anthony from the beginning has continued to display his self-defense claim. And I believe that in America, I always tell this, and I'm just going to speak truth to power in this situation. It is crazy that America tells us to accept the self.
No, man. Here I respectfully disagree. There may be some people telling you that are in America and that are Americans, but to say America, that's a stereotype. It's a blanket statement. To me, in my opinion, that's a blanket statement to say everyone in America thinks one way. And that's part of what gets you into a mess, racial mess, because people stereotype races and people. So, I mean, I would agree if you said some people think that way, but it's not all America, dude. Sorry. I disagree with you.
Self-defense claim of George Zimmerman.
Plus, you did say you don't have all the facts yet. So let's get to the facts.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Now you're
so many other people. But when the shoe is on the other foot, that claim is absurd. And I just got to call a spade a spade. No matter what my personal views of a case may be, it is quite contradicting for America to come back and say, "Oh,
that America's not coming back and saying that." Now your press conference is kind of voiding, like you're looking biased. America's not saying that, man. I'm America. And I'm telling you right now, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to look at the facts, man. At first, it was reported that Anthony just took out a knife and stabbed this kid randomly. Now we're getting that maybe he was pushed. I'm accepting that. I am America. I'm trying to get the facts out there, bro. Either you know all the facts of the story or you don't. But now you're stereotyping. So everyone here watching is America. Is everyone here 100% against Anthony? No. Now you're looking biased. He's looking biased, right? This guy's trying, but everyone knows you're... Me or this guy? Be Young? Me, Lewis, or this guy? I'm trying not to be biased personally. If I am, I don't think so, but this guy, right? Be Young? Yeah, this guy's looking biased now. Everything was good. Like, I do agree, man. I do agree. Black people when they go into a store, people follow them around and treat them wrong, man. I do believe there are racists out there. I think there's racial bias out there, 100%, man. But I also think there's people like this that are on this channel that are not like that. So, but if you're going to stereotype everyone, man, you're just as bad as...
Quite contradicting for America to come back and say...
Yeah, but we don't know the case if it's even the same. Do you know the case or don't you? You can't answer why the guy had the knife there. You don't know if this case is the same as the other case. I don't know that. Hasn't gone to trial yet. Yeah, I don't know if these two cases are the same, man. I want to hear both sides.
Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse can have it. George Zimmerman can have it. All of these individuals that don't look like the color of my skin can't have it. In the state of Texas, we live in a state where...
So what are they supposed to... The trial has... The trial has not concluded that Anthony is guilty, though. Has they? It's not done. It's still being investigated. Thank you, Gina. I'm not looking for, I appreciate that you think my commentary is excellent, but I'm not really looking for that. I'm just trying to be fair. But the trial is not over. They haven't had it yet. Anthony didn't lose. He has supporters.
You can walk around with a permanent carry. You can walk around with a brass knuckles. You can walk around with a knife. You can walk around with all these things. AK-47 in the state of Texas. And then as soon as you see a black person exercise those rights, we now have a problem.
No, I think you could have I don't have a problem with him having a knife, actually. People are asking about the knife because they're trying to see if it's intentional. He wanted to go and hurt someone, I guess. I think the problem stems is if you have an open carry and you use it. I don't know, whatever.
And that's not me spitting hate or race or bigotry. That's the facts. And like I put a statement, what we're not going to do after 400 years of oppression of black people in America is yet justify ourselves every time a situation comes up with one of our children. We want them to have those same rights that everybody else. We want him to have his same day in court as Cal Rittenhouse. We want him to have his same day in court like anybody else.
Yeah.
And he will have that. And he will put up the proper defense. And all of these questions will be answered.
Sorry, B. Young.
But the unfairness in this case is gross. And I think that the people in
What's the unfairness? In this case, there's nothing unfair. Officially, there's public opinion.
Community understands that. And that's where some of this pushback is coming from, because there's gross negligence in regards to in huge biases. And that's the reason why the Next Generation Action Network has to get involved with it in the beginning, because we are afforded these rights.
How do you feel like the way the media portrayed at the very beginning when this first came out?
I'll say this. Anybody that is putting stuff out here in this case, and this is the reason why the Next Generation Action Network, until that letter that we sent, stayed silent over the weekend while we investigated this case, because we knew that we had a responsibility to ensure that we put out the facts, truth, and that we knew exactly what we are talking about. And I just say this, the media has a responsibility to ensure when you are putting things out on your platform that you are not feeding into some of the racial divides and some of the biases.
The media is corporate. They're gonna put the racial divide because it sells views, unfortunately. Just like the people lying, it sells views.
In regards to this case, right? I can't go into the nuances of it or whatever and stuff like that, but I'll just end with this. In an interview that I know that any prosecutor that got a hold of this case wouldn't have never wanted the brother of Austin Metcalf to do. is say what he said on the news.
What did he
And
say?
it is clear. It is clear. In his own words, he stated that Karmelo Anthony said, "Don't put your hands on me." That's it. That's all we hear. Certain things were loosely said. There was loosely said. There were certain things that was loosely said in that interview that I just point people to. I don't want to ignite things or try to, speak for his legal defense or whatever it may be. But he stated, y'all, and the hate that was given regarding this case, the bias, that's what has us here today. He should be afforded the same rights that anybody that displays that self-defense claim.
Yes, he should. But is someone denying him a right? Is someone denying him a right now? The media is uncontrollable, man. They'll say anything to get people pissed off. Is he being denied a right? Or is this guy saying that maybe he should be free right now? He shouldn't be in prison, in jail, whatever?
The same rights that anybody that displays that self-defense claim, he should have the right to do those things and say those things. And someone getting mad that he say that, and that's what we're saying it.
What?
I didn't see you saying that when Cal hit Rittenhouse.
So, oh man. See, now it looks, this guy was making a lot of sense the first part of the press conference. Now he's trying to bring in another case. So if you're upset at the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, this is the same situation. That's what they're gonna say, man. Whatever. Yeah. Just like the brother shouldn't have said anything. I think he should have stopped the press conference 5 minutes ago.
I didn't see you saying that when Cal hit Rittenhouse.
Did you see everybody? There were people that weren't supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. There were people that were, and there were people that weren't.
And to say that's not the same is absurd. Self-defense was the claim. And all we're doing is asking people to respect this. We know that there is an unfortunate situation. There is a family that has to prepare for a funeral. There is a family. In the next coming days, I hope that the investigation uncovers some of the truth around this case.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why we will fully cooperate with making sure that this investigation is done proper. And we ask that people pray for these families and support and do the things that's necessary needed to ensure that we create a real just society. And if anybody got a problem with what I said today, if anybody who continues to say that race is not a factor, if anybody who continues to say all of these insinuating things that I saw on social media, then you
got to also remember that social media is not the world, dude. There's a lot of people on social media, but it doesn't represent the general audience. We've seen that, like, even with the past election, like, it went the opposite. Every movie star was endorsing one person. The media was saying one person is going to win, and then look what happened. It doesn't represent. This is a bubble still, dude. Now, I know it's a shocker too, because like I said earlier, this guy made sense. He's saying the truth. There's a lot of morons on the internet making up stuff for everything.
might look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're the problem. You're the reason why we cannot get anywhere when it comes to race.
I'm
And
not the problem. Sorry, dude. I don't care what color people are, honestly. I'm Cuban, and I've had so many Cubans be assholes to me, and so many Cubans being good to me. I've had every race be an asshole to me. I've had every race be good to me. Every sexual orientation, every gender. I've had good ones. I've had good ones, bad ones, and I can't.
then you might look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're the problem. You're the reason why we cannot get anywhere when it comes to race.
Now, again, I'm going to say this. I do think the family is getting hate. I do feel like there are trolls out there that are probably sending really awful things to the family.
And when we saw this case come out, there was so much rush to judgment.
Jennifer Marie finally gets here.
And so many things that had to be corrected that we end up finding wasn't true. It was a huge tagline that was said that Austin Metcalf died in the hands of his brother.
It's not real?
And it was false.
Huh? Was that false? Didn't the dad say that? Or the brother? Wow.
It was a huge tagline that was said that Austin Metcalf died in the hands of his brother. And it was false. And we have to be very careful when we report things. We have to be careful.
Was the brother there? I got to research that. Okay, Nerd Troopers, after this video, in the comments, was it disproven that the brother, he died at the hands of his brother? Was that fake? Are you guys ready? Let's do a call to arms, okay? I want everybody in here to put on their investigator hats and comment on all Nerd Report videos we do. Look through the videos and say, hey, did you know this? Help me out. Help me out, man. I have no producers here. I do everything on my own as far as producing the show, bringing the content. I don't get everything. I miss stuff. I'm not perfect. I'm like actually far from perfect. But what makes me more perfect is you all helping me out. So go out there, do your investigation, and share it with me, please. So I thought the brother was there. I don't know. He said, I have no reason not to believe this guy, but again, the case is evolving.
When we report things and put things out, because we live in a day and age where social media runs rapid. And so the next step for the Next Generation Action Network is that we will continue to work with this family to ensure that their rights are protected. We will continue to work with their.
If you're watching this video, this little group I have watching the video, this little community we have, if there's others that are not part of the community, because I know this community won't do that, do not bother the family here. Do not make up stuff. Any side of the family, don't do that. Tell others not to do that.
Attorneys to support this self-defense claim. And my thing is this. Our decision to stand in solidarity with the Anthony family, if you don't like it, then God bless you. But if we call ourselves a human and civil rights organization, we believe wholeheartedly that Karmelo Anthony.
So the National Action Network, that's Al Sharpton's organization. I don't know if Alexander, I'm sorry, I'm reading this out loud. I don't know. I can't verify, but you are saying it is. So I don't know if that's them. But this guy, is this guy NGAN? Is this guy part of that? I don't know.
Reserves the right to be able to be afforded the same treatment that any of his white counterparts are given in America. And if this is not the America that can afford him those same rights, then I believe that what Black people in America have been saying for over 400 years is correct. Thank you.
All right. Okay, here's the deal, though. The trial hasn't started. And listen, the news cannot be trusted, folks. All right? The news cannot be trusted. Even I'm telling you right here that when I read off something, I'm like, allegedly, I don't know. I'm asking for your help to correct me. But the big networks, they have their bias, man. And they try to get everybody against each other, you know? It's what sells views. Yeah, pretty much everyone is reporting that he died in his twin brother's arms. Did this gentleman that did the press conference, he's saying opposite, right? Again, I'm being very careful with what I say. I want to be very careful because look what happened. This guy says he got a cease and desist. Could you guys see this? Hear this?
Let me start this off by saying that I meant everything that I said. Threatening to sue me for saying that someone who allegedly put a knife into a kid's heart is evil is baffling. This is what happens when you expose wickedness. Now, mind you, I've been one of the more fair and objective voices in this matter. If the allegations are all true, then it went like this. Karmelo was underneath a tent that he should not have been. He was told to move, the confrontation escalated, but he took it to another level to which there is no excuse. Putting a knife in someone's heart over something so petty is evil. If the allegations are true, then he belongs in prison. Subpoena me. My legal funding is very long, and I am very comfortable in a courtroom.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy's sue me. I guess he got a cease and desist letter. You could see him. Now, a tent he doesn't belong in. I mean, and then here's the legal funds, right? But okay, so this is weird. Some people are questioning the way it's written. Help Karmelo's official fund. Okay, so this is Give, Send, Go. It's like a GoFundMe. It's a weird name, and it's the goal's 300,000. They're up to 255,000 plus, and people are donating. And it says some people are saying this is written strangely. Okay. But I have an opinion. I'm trying to be neutral here. I'm trying to be fair, folks. So bear with me. Help Karmelo's official funds. This is the official fund for Karmelo and his family during this challenging and difficult times. The narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harmful. As a family of faith, we are deeply grateful for all your support during this trying period. Your prayers and assistance mean more to us now than ever. The Anthony family. Now, it does. I didn't see here, but I'm assuming this is supposed to go to the legal funds, but it doesn't really say. It's a little weird, I guess. And some people are questioning it. But I will say this. Looking at the other side, this is a weird situation. I don't expect the family to be able to write a perfect essay, like GoFundMe for funds. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know. But people are donating, and free Mello. Some of the comments, praying for you and the family. Stay strong. God help both families. They're donating. Free him now, or may God deal with the injustice through bloodlines. What? Sending prayers. We support you, little brother. People sending And they have the right to support. Love you, my prayers to you. I mean, we don't know what happened, but he deserves to have funds to defend himself. We cannot disagree with that. I don't see how, that's bad, right? I don't see how that's bad. Do you guys agree with the GoFundMe or whatever? I've been black for 27 years. What the hell? There we go, bros. Okay, what do you guys think of today's video? Let me know in the comments. We'll do like a minute. We'll turn it to the comments area. And if you want a last minute support, I got the PayPal link in the comments, or you can send in a super sticker, super chat, or whatever you like. If not, that's cool. I would think videos will not be allowed to be shown until court, and because minors may never be public. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the court could allow videos not to be shown from a game that was public. I'm not sure how that would work. It's sad that kid ruined his life too. Exactly. Teenagers are impulsive sometimes. Yeah, Julissa, 100%. And look, it's hard for me as a human being to just say, hey, get Karmelo and throw away the key. I can't do that, man. It's a kid. I want to hear the facts, and I wish there was a way this didn't even happen, It's heartbreaking. They really will need that money, but it doesn't say specific. From what I saw, maybe it's in there. You guys go and do your own research. It doesn't say specifically where the money is going. Thank you, Saban. Remember, we're on almost every day, guys. Keep checking the channel because, again, notifications aren't going out. This was a great stream, great little stream. Great little topic, a big topic, actually. I think this topic's going to get bigger. It's a senseless loss for both sides. Exactly. And I can't make any opinion until I understand why he pulled a knife. Like, I get his family claims self-defense, but no one is saying why he felt he had to defend himself. Allegedly, there's stories out there now saying that the other guy grabbed him. I don't know. That's why with no video, that's weird. You don't feel bad for them, or I want to know what Trisha. I get your anger, but I want to know what happened. And I just 2 young lives. It's just for what, Don't be afraid to speak topics that matter. We will support you, and others will too. Thank you very much, Katie. Having a safe opinion all the time is hard. Yeah, dude, 100%. There's a lot of shit right now. I mean, people, I'm sorry, man. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you are. People are attacking people because the car they're driving. They're not tolerating the car you're driving. They're attacking people. Pregnant women got attacked and everything. And this is a side telling you that you got to be tolerant. And there's a lot of ridiculous shit going out there, man. Happening. And look, I don't even think the intention was to puncture the kid's heart. it's like kind of like playing with a weapon. You don't know how powerful it is. People don't understand. You know, maybe they watch too many movies. You know, I don't know. I can't explain this, man. I never hung around this kind of stuff. You know, shouldn't have had a knife in the first. That's what people are asking. You got a nerd. You got your nerd fix. Thank you, Shelley. Look, you could have, at least in California, I believe you could have a knife, but not for self-defense. To open cards, to open letters, for work, you could have a knife. And I believe it has to be a certain size in California. But if the cop goes, "What's this knife for?" and you say self-defense, you're going to jail, dude. That's what I understand. Yeah, I don't think death was intentional. There's a lot of details missing. What's up, Emily? I'm so tired of racial aspect. Can you imagine the outrage if it was reversed? Yeah. He intentionally went to the wrong tent, carried a. But Emily, I feel that like he went to the wrong tent to troll the other side, maybe to be cool, maybe. I don't know. But this guy, you can rewind it too. We did the press conference. This guy claims that the brother wasn't there. There is a legal document out there and everything, and I'm not gonna go through it. It's out there. So I mean, a lot of other creators have. The Pascal Show has actually done a really nice recap of that. If you guys want to check it out, let them know in their report send you. Let me see if there's any other news here. Okay, listen to this. Okay, actually, I got an update. All right, watch, folks. This is very, very important. The news conference. Are you guys there? This is important. This is brand new, I think. All right, watch this. Okay. When was this posted? April 8th. New details emerge. Texas track meet stabbing. The two teens got into an altercation at the track meet. So that implies that they were fighting? Austin Metcalf died in the arms of his twin brother. Didn't the guy in the press conference say that that wasn't the case? Now, I'm not saying he's wrong, but now this is being reported as a detail. There's a debate if it was self-defense. Okay, let's look at this. Could you guys hear this?
School track meet in Texas. A new details on a tragedy at a high school track meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay. NewsNation's Rich McHugh joins us. A new details on a tragedy at a high school track
Did you guys hear this? Okay.
meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay.
Weather delay?
A new details on a tragedy at a high school track meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay. NewsNation's Rich McHugh joins us live. So, Rich, what led up to this alleged attack is still unclear.
That's exactly right, Nicole. It's a heartbreaking story. Two teens get into an altercation and one is now dead. And people are divided whether this is self-defense or murder. And now the accused has an online fundraiser for him and his legal defense that has raised over $236,000.
It didn't say it was for his legal defense from what I read, but they're confirming it is? I mean, I didn't see it. Maybe it's in there.
As an online fundraiser for him and his legal defense that has raised over $236,000 in counting. According to police reports, Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony were at a track meet. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move out from under the team's tent when Anthony grabbed his bag, reached inside, and told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens."
Let's keep it a buck. He did not have to move. I'm sorry if I piss you off. He did not have. There's no way there was a sign there that says if you're not part of this high school, you can't sit here. That being said, you cannot come back with a knife if that's what happened, right? Or touch someone.
And told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." The police report states Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Anthony pulled out a knife.
I mean, whether you like it or not, they can't ban you from a section because of the school you go to. That's weird as F.
Stabbed Metcalf once in the chest and ran. Metcalf died there in his twin brother's arms. His father posting online, he was a leader of men, voted team MVP this past season and carried a 4.0 GPA. "I love you forever, son. It's not goodbye. It's see you later." Anthony was arrested and charged with the murder. He told police, quote, "I was protecting myself and he put his hands on me. I told him not to." The report states he asked if what had happened could be considered self-defense, and police fought back against a viral post, a conspiracy theory online believed to be from the county medical examiner that said Metcalf died from an MDMA drug overdose and that the stab was a secondary factor. So this is obviously a...
Yeah, I heard about that. So there's fake news. By the way, the stock market's going up. What the?
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. The report states he asked if what had happened could be considered self-defense, and police fought back against a viral post, a conspiracy theory online believed to be from the county medical examiner that said Metcalf died from an MDMA drug overdose and that the stab was a secondary factor. So this is obviously a complicated story that we're going to continue to follow. Nicole, we reached out to both Metcalf and the Anthony families and have yet to hear back.
Okay, listen. Kind of contradicted to some of the stuff in the press conference. The school had their own tents. Now, Emily, let me get to that. He wasn't supposed to be in that tent because it's personal property of the team. Yeah, that is something I have brought up, Emily. Emily says the school had their own tent. He wasn't supposed to be in that tent because it was personal property of the team. Sometimes it's reported like that, and then sometimes I'm getting the impression the tent was like a fan for fans, or support of a specific team. I don't know. Gio says so far it's not sounding like self-defense to me. Well, listen, I think both of them are runners, though. There's a lot of weird shit that's not out there. Jennifer, there is a scenario that I'm hearing where Anthony was in the supposed wrong tent or whatever that means. Austin told him, "Hey, dude, get out of here." And supposedly he was being aggressive, and then Anthony says, "Yo, if you touch me, you're gonna get it." I'm paraphrasing. And then Anthony may have touched him, and then he pulled out the knife, which is still not legal, man. There's a limit. Well, look, I don't know. I'm not in Texas, and I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a cop, so I don't know. But from what I understand, you can't, like for self-defense, you can't like, there's just threshold. You can't like be extreme. They were both on the roster to compete. That's what I thought. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go eat, man. Thank you everybody for supporting. I see a lot of people came in here. Don't forget, yeah, it's like a football player sitting on the other side, but some people are saying it was a private tent. Don't forget, we are doing updates all the time. A lot of you are not getting notified. I don't know what's going on. That's fine. We have Rumble. We're going to be doing stuff over there. That's why I always ask for alternatives and stuff. This is a very interesting case. I want to thank everybody who came in here to watch the show, even people that were late, like Jennifer Marie with the excuses. Emily, thank you. Jalissa, but we'll talk later. Maybe I'll come back on today. I don't know. But either way, nerd out.